the result of some birth defect or perhaps a traumatic injury as a child. Brittle and overblown it was, and desperately light. Perhaps it was this that finally did for him, unable to contain the shattering of his heart. In half-light, his skeleton a discarded prop, a false and calcified seabird.
And yet he's a very literary narrator, assuming that the protagonist, ourselves, is the narrator. He uses very flowery language, lots of allusions and metaphors.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse. The mainlanders thought to bring it home unlucky. Donnelly claims they dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot. But he is proving an unreliable witness.
Oh my, are you trying to implant ghost stories in my head, narrator? Is that Jacobson that I'm seeing in that cave over there? It's a very literary narrator indeed. Using very, I don't want to say flowery language, but certainly not to the point. Which seems odd for someone in a more logical or rational field. The narrator seems like a writer, and the clues I'm seeing on this island speak of scientists. In my mind, that says that perhaps he's a creative individual. Perhaps he's coming up and creating these characters, Donnelly, Jacobson, even Esther. And they're all the shapes of memories or stories that he could have written that he never did because he chose the scientist path. The profitable path, the successful one. Maybe now, on his deathbed, he's coming to grips with his identity.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Now things are starting to get quite disturbing. And that voiceover kind of disproves that the narrator is us, because he's narrating things that are not happening to us right now. Perhaps he's just very unreliable. Or perhaps he's clairvoyant, since it seems we've just taken a fall.
Did Jakobsen crawl this far? Can I identify the scratches his nails ruined into the rocks? Am I following him cell for cell, inch for inch? Why did he turn back on himself and not carry through to the ascent?
Wow, this cave is beautiful. Where did these candles come from? Ah, it's gorgeous though. Look at the reflections of the water on the ceiling. These phosphorescent stalactites. Certainly a mystical feeling here. And it's not lost on me that the color of these phosphorescent mushrooms is the same color as that glow-in-the-dark paint that's been all over the island.